supporting your child in mathematics. This presentation will help you to understand your child's learning in mathematics from foundation stage right through to Year 6. Parents are a child's first and most enduring educators, and their influence cannot be overestimated. Perhaps the single most important thing that parents can do to help their children with maths is to pass on a positive attitude. So often, parents do not understand the influence that they have over their child's view on mathematics. Hopefully, by the end of this presentation, you will understand the importance of encouraging and strengthening your child in their mathematics skills. Empowering parents to support their children's maths learning. There are two overall aims. We aim to support you as parents in exploring the mathematics that's involved in your everyday lives. We also aim to support parents in exploring ways to share this mathematical thinking with their children. Students' motivation to learn maths is higher among students whose parents discuss with them how mathematics can be applied to everyday life, or who obtain mathematics materials for them. We cannot state how important it is for you as parents to support your children's journey through maths. This means making opportunities for them in everyday situations. Here is a maths problem. I have 15 cards numbered 1 to 15. I put down 7 of them on the table in a row. The numbers on the first 2 cards add to 15. The numbers on the second and the third cards add to 20. The numbers on the third and fourth cards add to 23. The numbers on the fourth and fifth cards add to 16. The numbers on the fifth and sixth cards add to 18. The numbers on the sixth and seventh cards add to 21. What are my cards? How do you feel when you're faced with a problem like this? Perhaps a little scared, perhaps a little worried. This is exactly the same for children. At Monkspath, we encourage problem solving. We don't mind if children make mistakes. Our aim is to strengthen them in their understanding and confidence of maths so that they can face challenges like this with confidence. It's so important that as parents, you do not panic either. You are the ones that are able to instill confidence too into your children so that they can face and overcome problems like these. Describing your ability. Virtuoso, expert, capable, enthusiast of moderate ability, tentative beginner, cavalier and carefree, cautious performer, disillusioned trier, or perhaps a failure. If I was to ask you where you would place yourself with maths, you would probably place yourself quite far down the list. If I was to ask you how you feel about your cooking or your driving, most of you would happily put your hands up to say that you're virtuoso or an expert. It's so important that children feel capable or even that they're an expert when it comes to maths. It's all about perception. When you look at this picture, do you see the word good or do you see the word evil? It's exactly the same with maths. People have different perceptions of the subject, and it's our aim to ensure that all children can feel capable and that they can achieve and succeed with their maths. Math myths. There is a magic key to doing math. Math is done by working intensely until the problem is solved. Boys or girls are better at maths. You need a maths gene or dominance of your left brain to be successful at maths. There's only one way to solve a problem. You need to memorise a lot of facts, rules and formulas to be good at maths. Maths is not creative. So many myths float around, don't they, about the subject of maths. It's important that we remove these and show that maths is a creative subject and that it's okay when children get things wrong. It can be frustrating sometimes to watch a child trying to solve a problem, whether it's with maths homework or problems that you've chosen to give your child. But please remember to stay positive and reinforce the good behaviours and the good learning that your child is doing. Mathematics and early learning goals. These are the goals that children should achieve by the time they reach reception. You will note that there is problem solving and exploring involved with this maths. This is something that continues throughout school, a skill that your child must be able to do from the earliest age. The aims from the national curriculum require that children become fluent, that they reason mathematically, and that they can solve problems, things that children find hard to do. So we try and reinforce these skills at Monkspath. We're now going to look at some of the changes to the maths curriculum in Year 1. This chart shows what has gone, and it also shows what has been added. Counting and writing numbers to 100. Writing numbers in words up to 20. Number bonds secured to 20. Use of vocabulary such as equal, more than, less than, fewer. These are things that have been added to the Year 1 maths curriculum. Please make sure that you are supporting your child in these areas. Lots of changes have been made to the Year 2 maths curriculum. These things have been added. Solving problems with subtraction. Finding and writing fractions of quantities and lengths. Adding 2 two-digit numbers. Adding 3 one-digit numbers. Demonstrating commutativity of addition and multiplication. Describing properties of shape. Measuring temperature in degrees Celsius. Telling the time to the nearest 5 minutes. Making comparisons using more than, less than and equal to symbols. Recognise pound, pence symbols to solve simple money problems. Changes to the maths curriculum Year 3. What's been added? Adding tens or hundreds to 3-digit numbers. Formal written methods for addition and subtraction. 8 times table replaces the 6 times table. Counting in tenths. Comparing, ordering, adding and subtracting fractions with common denominators. Identifying angles larger than and smaller than right angles. Identifying horizontal, vertical, parallel and perpendicular lines. Telling the time to the nearest minute, including 24-hour clock and using Roman numerals. Knowing the number of seconds in a minute and the number of days in each month, year and leap year. Changes to the maths curriculum Year 4. What's been added? Solving problems with fractions and decimals to 2 decimal places. Rounding decimals to whole numbers. Roman numerals to 100. Recognising equivalent fractions. Knowing equivalent decimals to common fractions. Dividing by 10 and 100, including with decimal answers. Using factor pairs. Translation of shapes. Finding perimeter, area of compound shapes. Solve time conversion problems. In Year 5, these changes have been made. Understanding and using decimals to 3 decimal places. Solving problems using up to 3 decimal places and fractions. Writing percentages as fractions and fractions as decimals. Using vocabulary of primes, prime factors, composite numbers, etc. Know prime numbers to 20. Understand square and cube numbers. Use standard multiplication and division methods for up to 4 digits. Add and subtract fractions with the same denominator. Multiply proper fractions and mixed numbers by whole numbers. Deduce facts based on shape knowledge. Distinguish regular and irregular polygons. Calculate the mean average. In Year 6, these things have been added. Comparing and ordering fractions greater than 1. Long division. 4 operations with fractions. Calculate decimal equivalent of fractions. Understand and use order of operations. Plot points in all 4 quadrants. Convert between miles and kilometres. Name the radius, diameter, and know relationship. Use formulae for area or volume of shapes. Calculate area of triangles and parallelograms. Calculate volume of 3D shapes. Use letters to represent unknown. Generate and describe linear sequences. Find solutions to an unknown in problems. Again, the National Curriculum for Mathematics aims to ensure that all pupils become fluent in the fundamentals of mathematics, that they reason mathematically, and that they can solve problems. At Monkspath, we are aiming to change the perception of maths. We are all taking this journey. A boy begins his wondrous journey. He perseveres. Math cannot become any more difficult than this, can it? Yes, it can, as he falls. Yet he does not give up. For a brief moment there is a glimmer of comprehension, actual mid-air pedalling, and then the plummet as he falls to the floor. What it's important to remember is that it's okay to fall. You will be caught and brought back up. And as parents and as teachers, it's important that we ensure that the child is picked up so that they feel confident again about the mistakes that they have made, that they understand the mistakes that they have made, so that next time they face the challenge, they can overcome it. Bloom's taxonomy. This diagram shows a learning journey. It begins with just remembering, moving through to understanding, applying, analysing, evaluating, and creating. When the child begins learning, they start at the remembering phase. This is remembering and being able to recall the basic information. As they move through the Bloom's taxonomy, they end up being at the creating stage. Can the student create a new product or point of view using the knowledge that they have gained with the subject? They are broadening their learning and have a full understanding of the subject as an end result. To support your child with maths, we have a very detailed calculation policy, which has visual aids to the methods we will be teaching in school. We also have a vocabulary guide and progression document. We will soon have a separate progression document for fractions. Our Routes Through Calculation document covers addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, right from foundation stage through to Year 6. This helps to show you where the child is going from and where they will end up. This document will be available on our website soon. Maths. Talk it, play it, see it, touch it, think about maths every day. It's so important that as parents you surround your child with maths. Whether it's timing a journey, counting cars, reading the time, opportunities around us all the time, and it's so important that we're making references to maths in every opportunity that we have. This will help the child to become more confident with their maths and to understand the maths that they are doing. Talk it. Point out the maths in everyday life and include your child in everyday activities where you use maths. For example, handling money, shopping, cooking, and travelling by car or bus. Talk about time. For example, how long does it take to walk to school? Explain that you are doing maths. Practice counting up to 20 and backwards too. To help your child understand what numbers mean, ask them to find the same amount of different items. For example, find 3 spoons, 3 hats, or 3 socks. Talk about the shape and size of objects. For example, big car, little car, round ball, square table, rectangular book. And ask them questions like, pass me the biggest box, or which one is the smallest shoe? Sing counting songs, read books, play games and watch films about maths. Play it. Play games with cards. Players take 2 cards and add the numbers. The player with the highest number wins. Create patterns. Make up short dances or rhythms using your body. For example, clap, clap, stomp, belly slap, and repeat. Play with blocks. Get them to think about size, colour, shape, weight, texture, and create patterns and structures too. Ask them to guess how many blocks they could pile up without them falling down. Play I Spy, but with numbers or shapes. See it. Go on a shape hunt. How many circles, squares, rectangles, triangles can your child find? Are they 2D or 3D? You can look for patterns too. Look for numerals. On doors, buses, cars, signs, at home, at the shops, on TV, anywhere. Remember to talk about what the numbers mean. Count anything. How many lampposts are on our street? How many houses have a red door? How many packs of crisps do we have in the kitchen? Touch it. Play with things like shells, bottle tops, beads, Lego, and compare them. These things are great for making patterns too. Put things in order, of weight, height, and size. Ask your child to help you organise things at home. Make patterns with objects, colouring pencils, paint or Play-Doh. Build structures with Duplo, Lego or cardboard boxes. Ask your child to help you measure out ingredients or set the timer when you're cooking. Think it. Estimate. At the shops, ask your child to estimate how much 2 or 3 items will come to, or how much more food you'll need if extra people come for tea. Play Think of a Number. You think of a number between 0 and 10, and they have to guess. They can ask questions like, is it less than 5? At school, children learn to add and subtract in practical situations that crop up in the classroom long before they start to write sums. You can ask them to help you to solve problems at home when you are working out how many altogether, or how many more, such as, we have 3 red apples and 2 green apples, so how many apples do we have altogether? Or, we have 6 chocolates. If I ate 3, then how many will we have? Encouraging mathematical thinking and reasoning. This is a book called The Doorbell Rang by Pat Hutchins. There's lots of activities that children can do after reading this kind of book. Describing. Tell me about this picture. This could refer to any part of the picture in which the children are raising their hands to take a cookie or cookies from the plate. Recording. Would you like to do a drawing or picture to show how Sam and Victoria could share out the cookies? Reasoning. How does Sam or Victoria know that there will be 6, 3, 2 or 1 cookies each? Shall we act it out? I wonder why Ma suggests that the 12 children eat their cookies before opening the door. Opening out. What do you think the children will do now? You could act out a similar situation with different numbers of biscuits. This is a problem that would be given to Year 6 children. When we read the questions, you will see a progression from slightly easier questions through to harder questions. How many cannonballs are on the bottom layer? How many cannonballs would be in the 6th layer? How many total cannonballs are there in the entire stack? How many total cannonballs would be in a stack of 9 layers? If there were 100 layers, how many cannonballs would be in the bottom layer? How many total cannonballs would be in a stack of 100 layers? Describe the relations between layers and number of cannonballs. It's really important to ensure that we are moving children on with their learning. This is very similar to Bloom's taxonomy and the progression that children take with that. Here's Bloom's taxonomy for iPads. We have apps right from the bottom all the way up to creating. Use this as a reference to see where the work that your child is doing fits into Bloom's taxonomy. Are they at the remembering stage? Are they analysing? Are they evaluating? Or are they at the creating stage, where they can create a new product or point of view? Using assembly skills, construction, creativity, design, development, formulate, or writing skills. These have been our aims: to support you as parents in exploring the mathematics that is involved in your everyday lives, to support parents in exploring ways to share this mathematical thinking with your child. We want to be parent-centred, not school or curriculum-centred. It's so important that as parents you feel you have the support in order to help and to encourage your child with their learning. Please feel free to speak to your teacher if you need any further help or guidance. This is a diagram about success. On the left, we see what people think success looks like. On the right, we see what success really looks like. It's not always an easy journey, and we hope that you feel strengthened and supported to help your child to overcome their struggles in maths. Please remember to stay positive, to encourage your child to help your child, so that they can reach their goals at the end of Monkspath. We hope this video has been of use to you. Please feel free to speak to us or visit our website if you would like further information. Thank you.